Yes, well, good morning, everyone. My name is Hannu Latva Rasku, as Louis introduced me, and I work as a procurement preacher. And what that really actually means is usually I get to go around Finland telling people how they should do innovative procurement. Why should they do it, how it's done, what are the common results, common problems, and so on. And I'm very happy that today I've been invited here to Portugal to tell everyone in Europe what have we done and how you can also do innovative procurement. And I will show my learnings from this first half of this year in these slides. Well, first of all, I would like to tell you why I believe I can actually tell you something interesting. Why should you listen to me? I come from a company called Industryhack. We consider ourselves to be the leading European co-creation and open innovation experts. For example, we completed, on the private sector, we completed this industrial internet program and helped 30 large Finnish corporations in their digitalization efforts. And here are some numbers total on what we've done on the public and private side. So we have had over 1,000 teams in our events innovating, and they have created 460 concepts, and 80 of these have gone to like a pilot project where the concept was really experimented and tried in practice, and about half of these have gone through the actual production. And we have a kind of unique position between our customers and our solvers. So we don't exactly represent either the customer or the solver side of the problem or the innovation. So I hope these numbers will convince you a little bit that we know what we're talking about. We have done this several times on different kind of cases, and we have good information on what those cases have accomplished in the end. But to the actual subject. So, learnings from 5 procurements with innovation partnerships completed this year. So, Mr. Maldonado just said in Portugal there's been problem. There's, I think it was that they've tried it once and somehow it didn't get completed. And so I personally have done 5 this year. So I hope what I have learned will help them to start their work as well. What I mean, I will explain what I mean about a competence. It's something you need in the project team that is responsible for doing the procurement. Usually it's not one person who does it, it's a team, and the team needs to have that kind of knowledge, experience, or skill in the team. Not necessarily some skill in one person, it can be a group of persons, or sometimes it's one person. Some skills are definitely easier to find in one person, and sometimes you need a larger group. And these competencies that come together in the project team, they need to work together, not to be like separate people. I will show you 5 cases like this during my speech. I will shortly tell what we've done. So for example, for Aalto University, which is a leading Finnish business and technical university, for them we had this innovation partnership or innovation contest, and the idea was how to engage, motivate, and communicate to Aalto community members about sustainable development goals. So they already do this kind of work, but how can they involve people better, give them information, what they can do and what's already been done. So this was the kind of problem, and they had no solution, so they invited companies from outside to solve these things together with them. And to do this kind of work, my first competence I noticed you need to be able to make decisions. So organizational decision making. who decides, who can decide, who does what. That is very important to know. And in this Aalto case, we had this kind of typical problems. For example, one case was that Aalto University's procedure demands that each decision is reviewed by a lawyer, and when the lawyer signs that it's okay in the legal sense, only then can the decision maker decide that they will buy this thing. And we had not prepared for that, and of course the lawyer didn't have time for us. She said it's going to take 2 weeks to get the okay from her, and the whole timetable went badly. And when I show you this, our goal in the decision making is to make give all the participants a clear timetable. For example, when I have the project's startup meeting, we will decide that 5 months from now, on that day in the morning, we will decide who wins. So we have set up the whole timetable of the whole project from that first day on. And if you don't know how the decisions are made in your organizations, you cannot make that kind of a timetable. And if you cannot make a timetable, no one will want to join you, no one will want to participate if you cannot tell them when are the decisions being made, when should they be there, all this. Okay, let's move on. Second case I did last winter. In Helsinki we get a lot of snow, sometimes 0.5 meter during the winter, and it's hard to find places where to put it. So of course summer solves the problem, it melts, but where to put it until then? Well, there's not enough space, so a lot of it is just pushed into the sea, and with the snow there goes a lot of other things, bicycles, sand, pollutants, everything. And then in the spring you need to start figuring out how to get it back from the sea. Not a good idea. So we were looking for cheaper, more ecological ways of treating the snow. And again, something you cannot buy from somewhere directly. You need to innovate with companies. What kind of services could they offer to solve this problem? In this previous snow case, one of the big things was facilitating the negotiations. So if you think about procurement law, how the innovation partnership is described, you have this negotiation phase. But at least in Finland, the procurement law says nothing what that means. There's a negotiation phase, and what does that mean? So we believe the best way to do the negotiations is to co-create solutions. And you can imagine when we had guys who drive snowplows as a job, co-creating solutions with artificial intelligence specialists. So do they talk the same language? Do they understand what each other are saying? Do they understand the business case? You need a third person. You need all kinds of skills together. You need the right mix of people and create trust between them to get the thing going. So that's why we do this with co-creation, and this is our Industryhack definition, what is co-creation. And I've highlighted what is, in my opinion, if you do negotiations or with or without co-creation, what are the most important things to get people working together is you need to have a distinct goal, what you're aiming for. That must be written in the procurement notice and the challenge description. It can be some sort of goal, or it can be a need or opportunity you have. The other thing is you need to have mutual equality. This is also demanded in the procurement law, and it should be also described very well. And you need to look for new solutions. And to get these things, you need a clear facilitated process, and having a third party helps a lot to create the necessary trust. This is the biggest innovation partnership we have done. This was estimated value was 2 to 4 million euros. Doing the background research, there's 350,000 addresses in Finland where the coordinates for that address is not correct. So ambulance, delivery, anything might go to a wrong place. So the national authority that does these kind of things wanted to provide the municipalities in Finland new tools how to fix the addresses, because municipalities are the ones who keep the addresses. So in this case, you needed special substance expertise. How is it done now? Is it even done now? We needed experts to validate the ideas thrown around by the companies, and what experiments have been done. So these kind of expertise I described here are very important for the procurement. And the goal, of course, is to get best knowledge, best expertise on both sides to do the goal creation. And if it works well, you definitely can get results that actually answer the end user needs, and they actually work in practice and are realistic, because that is often a problem in procurement, that you do the procurement and you've done all the work and then you realize it doesn't work. Another example, this hiking compass. So how to improve customer interaction in hiking areas. We're looking for new digital solutions for hikers, well, also hunters, fishermen, and so on in the natural parks in Finland. In that case, one of the key competencies was procurement expertise. They had an excellent procurement expertise themselves for basic cases, for the usual ways of doing. And then with the help of us, we could add the innovation partnership expertise and could get the procurement going and really smoothly. This is my favorite case. All the timetables held, every decision was made the day we decided, everything went perfectly. My favorite customer. But the goal again for the procurement is to maximize the benefit for the procurement. Too often I see that the procurement optimizes the procurement process. Well, how much work does the procurement procurer, let's say procurer division or group have? It's not optimized by the result. For the procurement to work, this is a key detail from 60 cases we have done, is what kind of participants you should take into innovation contest. These are 3 common characteristics of a winning team, and we have turned those into 3 criteria how to choose the participants. I hope you get the slides because I don't have time to explain every detail. Yep. And as a last, we did for Finnish National Employment Agency with this AI Goes to Work project, and they were looking for new AI solutions to match open jobs and job applicants, and also help those people with certain kind of educations and courses to find jobs better. Well, my last competence, number 5, you need in a group, you need someone who has the ability to understand different views and the whole process. So example of different views would be what does the bidding companies want, what is important to them, and what is important to the public sector procurer. So those are opposite point of views, and you need to understand both. And then you need someone who will break all the silos, will translate from different groups and bring the messages, and who understands the whole process. understands the procurement law, co-creation, contracts, project management, and so on. And this competence number 5, understanding the whole process, this usually needs to be one key person. And this allows you to align goals for different groups to work together. So these were my five competencies. I hope you get the kind of overview of what they are and why are they needed. I'm happy to tell more of you later if you want to.
Hannu, thank you very much. Thank you. We have to speed up.